What's cooking, Juventus fans? Welcome back to your old lady's favorite YouTube channel. Today, we're going to play a game of deal or no deal. It's supposed to be a decision day for Di Maria. What happened with that situation, as well as the ongoing talks about the future when it comes to Juventus, with Paul Pogba, with Rabiot, all the other players that are mentioned in the Mercado. Stick with us. We'll fill you in. Ciao ragazzi, welcome back to the Beyond Canary Zone. My name is Justin Sofro. Today, it's Monday, June 6, 2022, and of course I got your latest rundown of all things Juventus, all the news you care about each and every day. As I've been trying to hype on and harp on, I don't want to keep saying hype, trying to harp on the last few days, guys, please hit the like button. It really does help our channel to continue to grow, to be successful for our videos and the ridiculous algorithm, all that it is. We must feed the algo gods. Hit that like button. Please do that right now. It really helps our channel grow. Hit the subscribe button as well. Join our community, what we have here. And then hit that bell icon to stay notified for all of our latest videos. All right, let's get into it at the news that we have of the day. And, of course, the story of the day, the story of the morning, involved the situation going on with Di Maria. Is he coming to Juventus? We had reports yesterday saying something of the sorts that basically it was decision day. Today was supposed to be the, is it a here we go, or is it a here we oh no? And that's what we were supposed to come down to. Well, guess what? We have the earliest reports coming out of here with Di Maria, and it's not good news. Right now, Juventus, the situation going there, Matteo Moretto reporting saying that direct contacts between Barca and Di Maria to understand the viability of the operation. He has already said yes, I'm guessing, to Barcelona. Juventus, who have been negotiating with the Argentine for 2 months now, have not yet closed the deal and are in danger of losing him. Where do we start from here? We talked about it a bit yesterday. For Juventus, the deal to get done was Di Maria today. I was on pins and needles. We were ready to go. We were up late last night doing a After Dark. If you haven't already, go back and watch it. But we were hanging out talking about what the moves that could be made, what's going on here. Well, we got here this morning. I had set my alarm for multiple early mornings. I don't wake up before 7, 8 a.m. if I don't have to, right? Yeah. Anyway, on U.S. time. So I set it early on the hour, every hour, just to see any news out. Nope. And then finally we get the news that basically, guess what? Meeting actually we might actually have another meeting Wednesday. And that should be the final meeting. I call BS. Whatever. It's ridiculous. Right now, here's the situation. And I'm coming a little bit heavy-handed with this. I'm not trying to crush the Juventus management. I'm not trying to crush anybody individually. But what I am saying is, maybe I am, we'll see. Something here doesn't smell right. Something here is ridiculous. If you have a deal, you know what he wants. He knows what you want. One of you is willing to come to that agreement. For Di Maria, he had the yes for Juventus. He was ready to come to Juventus. What we know. All he wants is, I only want to play for 1 year. I don't want to play for 2 years. I care about the World Cup more. That's what I care about. I will come to Juventus for 1 full season. You can sign me up for that. I want my pay of 7.5 mil or whatever it is. That's what I want. Then Juventus come to the table. Why am I still clapping? We want to pay. We want the decree. Yada, yada, yada. We want to save money on this. We're willing to pay you the 7.5 if we can save money caused by that. We were willing to pay 7.5 then. If not, we will pay you 5.5. In that situation, the negotiation, this has been going on for weeks now. This could have been done weeks ago. At some point, somebody has to be the smarter party. And it appears right now, the smarter party or the party that just realizes if they can get what they want. Okay, let's say not smarter. I'm not going to say Juventus. That's not what I'm trying to say here. What I'm trying to say here is Di Maria, it seems like at this point, his entourage are saying, time to move on. If we can get Barcelona, if we can get Atletico Madrid to come to the table and say they want me, I'd rather go there. And I'm not saying it's not because Juventus aren't a appealing destination for him, because it has been, and he was ready to go. But they're not willing to come to what he wants. So while Barcelona or Atletico Madrid may end up coming to the table and being willing just to say, hey, yeah, you can just do the 1 year. There you go. Yeah, we know how good you are. We know what you're bringing to the table. Here you go. There's your money. It's done. I don't know. That's where I sit with it right now. It's frustrating because right now, the reason it's so frustrating is because of all the ancillary pieces that are going to follow this. So Juventus gets the deal done. or they don't. Sorry, the deal falls apart. Juventus on Wednesday, Di Maria informs Juventus he's going to Barcelona, he's going to Atletico Madrid, he's going wherever, right? Where does that leave Juventus? Do you go look at Kostic? Do you go him? Is he the easy one to get? Because any of these other negotiations, given what we've seen here with the guys that are at work right now, they're not quick. They were able to do the Vlahovic deal quick. Zakaria, quicker. But what tells me that you're going to be able to negotiate with any of these parties, even Zaniolo, well, especially Zaniolo, right? Because they're not trying to pay $50 million, right? And I understand y'all don't want Zaniolo. We get it. We got it. Okay, cool. What happens there at the end of the Mercado? How long is this going to take? Because the problem is you were set up in an amazing, not amazing, but you were set up in a great way. You have an opening, before the Mercado even opens, to get Paul Pogba and Angel Di Maria signed up on your team, ready to flip and go. And instead now, you're going to sit here waiting, potentially. If this doesn't work out, probably still having Paul Pogba, but then you have another piece you to completely reconfigure how you're going to go after this, how you're going to tackle offering these guys, getting them into Juventus, trying to work your deal, whatever you want to get, for probably a lesser talent than Di Maria is. It's frustrating. It is. I'm frustrated. You probably are frustrated. We're all frustrated at this point. I think if you're not frustrated, you're not paying attention. I don't know. That's where I sit with it. That's my soapbox for right now. I'm not saying that Cherubini and Arriva Bene don't know what they're doing. They know what they're doing. But at the same time, going about it in the way that they know what they're doing could still end up with Juventus losing out on the player. And I think at that point, if that was the end game to begin with, and he ends up at Barcelona, you probably should have been going somewhere else the entire time. You shouldn't have wasted your time, because he was very open in telling you what exactly he wanted out of this. He told you he wanted 1 year. He told you all he really cares about is the World Cup. He told you that's his goal. That's his end game. He laid it out on the table for you, and you didn't listen. So that's where we sit right now. Di Maria, no deal. Deal or no deal? No deal. No soup for you. We'll see what happens. Potentially Wednesday we could have a complete coin flip of a situation, and somehow he ends up coming to Juventus, and somehow, we get a Locatelli situation where they get him to agree to everything. I don't think that's going to happen, though. It's not the Carnevale situation. It's not working with Carnevale. It's working with Di Maria and his entourage for the money that he wants. So we'll see. All right, let's continue on. Let's talk about another player that has a difficult situation if you're a Juventus fan. Matthijs de Ligt and the situation going on around him. Fabrizio Romano gives us a little bit of insight, saying that de Ligt's current release clause is valid for the 120 million euros. Juve are now negotiating with the defender to extend the contract until 2025 or 2026. But de Ligt has told the club that he will only sign a new agreement if the release clause is lowered. So far, for both Barcelona, who have financial problems, it is too expensive a deal for them to seriously consider at this moment. Chelsea has been monitoring de Ligt for months, but the priority at the moment is Jules Koundé. So, as the situation stands, we talked about it ad nauseum last night. What's going on with de Ligt? Frustration there. There is a little bit of part of me that understands. Okay, I don't understand the people that are saying, get rid of de Ligt. He's not that great. Like, get the hell out of here. He is. He is our best player. He is the best player right now. If it's me, if you're Juventus, if you have a better feel for the pulse of that relationship, and you know what it is that he's asking for. What he's asking for, put it on the table. He said he wants success from the club as well. He came in here, of course, and one thing I will say, he came in here probably because of Ronaldo. Ronaldo helped talk him into bringing him to Juventus. So we have him here, and there's no Ronaldo. Well, there's reports later that, we could throw a little wrench in that plan that we have here. So, I don't know why I got ahead of myself. Just calm down. Just calm down, Justin. Chill out. There's the next story we can talk about. But for what stands right now, the iffy way right now that I read this is if he really wants to make a move. The whole adjusting the clause down. I don't love it. I understand you make these moves, you make these decisions because that's what he requests. But I feel like the club and him have to come to agreement and say, hey, man, it doesn't make sense for us to lower the clause for less than what we paid for you initially a few years ago. Like to me, 90 million should satisfy both parties. 90 million, not 70, not whatever. It's not vastly different. Still 30 million below what he currently is at. 120, I've seen 125 thrown out there. But it also does read to me, and there's plenty of Juventus fans out there with this opinion, saying that, well, De Ligt obviously wants to go. He wants out. I don't know if I read it the exact same way. I understand people that are frustrated. They don't, this is part of the game. It's part of being a professional athlete and being a fan of a professional team. It's not amateur. It's not collegiate athletics where guys come in and they're supposed to be committed through the entire time. And newsflash, those aren't the same as they used to be either. But when it comes to De Ligt's situation, it does kind of reek of a little bit of a man's ready to get out. Man's ready to jump ship when he gets an opportunity. Maybe he can have these 2 years guaranteed, see what he wants, jump ship. Or it very well could be this, which is what I'm hoping for. I want to see what pieces, what demands he really has from Juventus outside of the monetary contractual obligations. What kind of deals are there with Juventus that maybe they want to show a commitment to him as a player? This Mercado is a big one. Get him the pieces he needs for this team overall to be successful. Get him a center back that he can align with, that he can have chemistry with, that he can develop with, that he can have a solid, not trying to emulate the Chiellini Bonucci. And I know you guys don't think highly of Bonucci right now, but when he and Chiellini are in their heyday together, they're unstoppable. You saw what happened in the Euros, right? Get him a guy that he can team up like that. Get him something like that. Also, show your investment in him. Make him the captain of the club. I'm a big believer in really letting the players choose the captainship, honestly. But at the same time, if that's not how you're going to do it, I think that would go leaps and bounds for Allegri to show his trust in him and say, yeah, De Ligt, you are the captain. So those are just some of the pieces, some of them, again, second soapbox of the day, but that's what it is. All right, then the next part of this is De Ligt also, latest rumors, Nico Schietta broke it last night while we were on the live, right before I think we were about to go to bed, but the report basically was saying that Manchester United's main target as a new center back is Matthijs de Ligt. Ten Hag loves him since Ajax times. But Juventus would not want to sell him and working on a renewal. Obviously, if he has that release clause, he can do whatever he wants. Right now, see, I want to get a read. I would like to get a read and a pulse for what Matthijs de Ligt wants to do. Does the hiring of Ten Hag make that big of a difference for the club, for Manchester United, that it's more appealing to him? If that is, don't sign anything. Well, still sign something because obviously you want more months and years, so you don't want to lose him for free whenever he could do that and not renew. Obviously, that there's little aspects to this, but that's why I pushed so hard for the 90 million and not like a 70. That's why I pushed that. Realize what I said was a little stupid. Ignore that. But right now, I wonder what the allure of playing with Ronaldo again at Manchester United, at a Premier League club. We'll see. We'll keep an eye on that. We'll see what happens. We'll continue to update it. We'll see. Hopefully, Juventus will end up locking him down for a couple more seasons and maybe at a more reasonable buyout clause. That's my personal thing. All right. Let's go on and move on to another big-time topic, and that's, of course, Paul Pogba. What's going on with him? We have Tudo Sports reporting saying that from today, every day is good for the announcement of Paul Pogba's return to Turin, with the final details and bonuses on the contract, which will be 7.5 million euros as a fixed base for 3 years with probable option for a fourth year. Obviously, he's going to have bonuses there, too. To the sport. Can I have a word? Just quick word. If you or anybody else, the next person's getting slapped, the next person that says from today, every day is good. Every day has been good. For the last 2 to 3 weeks to announce this. Everybody has known that Paul Pogba is coming to Juventus. It's not from today. And I'm losing my voice now. I'm about to cough all into the mic. Every day has been good. Every day will be good. If I hear anybody or use the terminology of in the next few days or in the next days, because days can go on to weeks and months. Don't say that anymore. I'm sick of it. All right. Anyway, but yeah, as it stands, yes, duh. Anytime would be great. Anytime would be grand. We're all sitting here waiting, ready to go. Maybe potentially thought it was 2 weeks ago. Maybe potentially thought it could have been 3 weeks ago. And here we are. So we'll see what happens with Paul Pogba. We know what's going to happen. He's going to come to Juventus. Just what's the day? What's the day? What's the time? Let me know. Just throw me a frickin' bone. Let me know so I can fire up the espresso in the morning. So I can get the headset warmed up. So we can start giving our hot takes when it comes to Paul Pogba and his future at Juventus. I have a lot of them. I got a sheet of lies already made, fired up, and ready to go. Just care about me. That's all I'm asking. Care about me. All right. Let's continue on. Another player in the defense that potentially would be alongside de Ligt that we talked about a little bit ago would be that of Koulibaly. Nico Schietta is reporting saying that Koulibaly is liked by Barcelona, Chelsea, PSG, and Juventus. Napoli want 40 million euros to sell him now. I don't need to go into the specifics on him as a player. Obviously, getting him would be a great gift for the club. Problem is my personal opinion is that as long as Napoli has multiple suitors outside of Serie A, outside of Juventus, they're going to go with those if they can. If they're all offering the same thing, unless you really can get a player that, he really wants. And I still don't know that I fully believe that Demiral would be a great option that they could use as a bartering tool. Maybe it is, maybe it's not. But Barcelona, Chelsea, PSG will probably be the ones that end up landing with him just because Trashman De Laurentiis is Trashman De Laurentiis. Moving on. Another player that could go to Manchester United alongside his pal Matthijs de Ligt would be that of Adrien Rabiot. Tuttosport reporting saying that Manchester United are very interested in Rabiot and could make a move, but also keep an eye on the decisions of Rabiot's mother's agent. That's such a weird way to say it. Mother agent, who could also consider running down the contract to leave on a free, demanding higher wages. My guy, as long as you're out of here, I'm good. I'm Gucci, if you will, as the kids say. But me personally, I'd like to expedite this process. If we can find a way that Manchester United is appealing to you, 20 mil, even 15, I'd be good with whatever, just as long as we're getting you off the books and we're getting a suitable replacement. I know it's going to be difficult because, what are the options out there right now? But when I say suitable replacement, my opinions on Rabiot. Doesn't take much. That's where we sit. But we'll see. United appear to want him this summer, and they potentially are making it ready to make a move for him. We'll see if it goes down. We'll see if his mother agent helps that. I think the idea that Paul Pogba is coming to Juventus could definitely help that for the club. Could definitely help push him out a little bit because we know the drama that's been going on between the two French players playing for the French national team. So hopefully Paul Pogba coming back would be, and the family issues, the mom and his mom fighting over whatever happens in the stands. Is this America? I guess it just happens everywhere. It sounds like something that would happen in America. It just sounds like I don't know. It sounds like an American, what's a reality TV show? That's what I was trying to get at. All right. Not really speaking of. Here's another player that we talked about yesterday. Simeone potentially being pursued by Juventus as a striker for the club. Gazzetta dello Sport kind of say that as well, that they have really locked in for a backup for Dusan Vlahovic. We'll see. I'm sure Muriel will pop up in another couple of days when the cycle goes dry a little bit. Anyway, Juve are thinking seriously about Simeone, but it'll have to be seen if they're willing to add a few million euros to the 10.5 million that Verona will have to pay to buy him to begin with. So we'll see how invested are they in this player. That's something to keep an eye on. He could be another guy that comes in. Again, I also want to see, it remains to be seen how his addition or him being the guy that they pursue, how that really affects the whole Raspadori train and all that. I know with Raspadori, Moise Kean's supposed to be outgoing before they can even make that move. But what about the other aspects? I still question why moves can't be made when you already lost Paulo Dybala. A large sum of money, a large earner. Well, would have been a large earner. He still made a decent amount of money when he was here. But why not? Why can't you still go get Raspadori? Okay. Okay, and then we talked about this. We teased it a little bit earlier, obviously, in my rant and my soapbox about Di Maria, about other players that they go after instead. We know that there's feelers out there, but there's really not a lot of moves that have been made for this player. Giovanni Albanese is talking about, of course, Kostic being a player that really could come in and fit with Juve. There are rumors out there that you potentially be getting Di Maria and a Kostic and or a Zaniolo or somebody like that. Two guys to play up there because you're going to have injuries. You're going to need a guy on the left and the right there in the attack. Well, right now, I'm saying that Kostic has a long dreamed of landing in Serie A, and his agent Lucci is looking for a club that can guarantee him a place in the Champions League. With the old lady, the match could become easy, also because of the relatively low cost of the operation, around 15 million euros. They definitely like him, but for now, no offenses planned. The Bianconeri must first define other priorities, which I'm with that. I'm on board with it. Well, am I gonna flip flop? Am I flip flopping on camera? Here's where I sit with that. If you're getting Di Maria, if you're locking that one up, I'm fine with not pursuing Kostic strongly. I think he's a solid player. I think he'd be a good get. But if you're not getting Di Maria, is that where your sights are set on getting Kostic? Then it might heat up a little bit. I need to know what the priorities are. Because right now, we've known the priorities were Pogba, Di Maria, and then it looked like Molina was in that third place. If you lose Di Maria, who does that put up front? Does that push the rumors of Zaniolo, even though Romeo Gresti came out and said there was nothing, it was just some journalists who have nothing else to offer? I don't know. To me, I think when there's smoke, there's fire. That's my personal opinion. I'm not pushing Zaniolo right now. This is not a Zaniolo video. But what I'm saying is there's somebody you're going to have to go in there in the attack. You're losing Dybala. You need somebody else there in the attack. Who do they go for? Anyway, we'll keep an eye on that. We'll see what happens with Kostic. Obviously, with his amount, his low cost, he'd be a good option for Juventus to get. Finally, talking about Molina, who I said is probably the third priority, or at least it's felt that way lately. Fabiana Della Valle is reporting saying that on Molina, Atletico Madrid, I couldn't even get it out right, are currently ahead of Juventus. Maybe then the Argentine comes to the Bianconero and Cuadrado asks for a transfer. I'm guessing see, not say. Let's see. I hadn't heard any really reports that Atletico Madrid were really in like pole position of getting Molina, but we'll see what happens. I know there's obviously some positives of him staying in Italy, and then obviously Juventus have a really good relationship with the Pozzo family there at Udinese. So we'll keep an eye on that. We'll see what happens. Obviously, though, Fabiana is definitely proven herself to be a pretty good source when it comes to things going on in the Mercado, especially with Juventus, given her reports on Vlahovic, Zakaria, and all that happened in the winter Mercado. Anyway, guys, that'll do it for today. I know I ranted a little bit on a couple of them. I went a little too hard, maybe not hard enough. I don't know. You guys let me know in the comment section down below. Those are my opinions. We'll see what happens with Juventus in this Mercado. Are they going to go after these guys? Are they going to seal the deal when it comes to Di Maria on Wednesday, the reported meeting on Wednesday? We'll see what happens. We'll keep you filled in every step of the way. If you haven't already, please hit that like button, smash that like button if you're here. Hit that subscribe button, hit the bell icon to stay notified for all of our latest videos. Make sure you follow me at Justin Sofro on Twitter, as well as the Bianconeri Zone at Bianconeri Zone, Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. We'll see you guys next time. Forza Juve, Forza Bianconeri.